Reggae Just Extra with Ras Dennis.
Tired feel liquid in a bush. Tired feel lick pipe in a gully. We want to come out in the open, but the breeze can blow it so far away.
Right now you're tuning to your boss, DJ Dirty Harry. This is a takeover.
There are men whose lives read like scripture, not because they were perfect, but because their journey carries lessons.
I'm out there, man.
You know what I shall not remove, as I will say.
Richard Hall, known to the world as Dirty Harry, was one of those men. His story is not loud in headlines, yet it roars in the grooves of vinyl. It is a story of discipline and destiny, of brotherhood and betrayal, of music as survival, and of a cruel ending in a foreign land that tried, and failed, to silence his legacy. My name is Ras Dennis, and you're watching Reggae Just Extra, your number one source for music, facts, and culture.
Want to be free.
Dirty Harry's calling was decided early. At the Alpha Boys School, where order ruled and talent was sharpened like iron, Richard Hall learned that music was not play, it was purpose. Alpha was not just a school, it was a furnace. Boys entered broken by poverty and left armed with instruments and discipline. There, Harry took up the tenor saxophone, learning breath control like prayer control, learning that every note must mean something. Through those very halls also strode Horsemouth, his lifelong friend and kindred spirit. Two youths bound by rhythm, hunger, and hope. They did not dream of fame, they dreamed of survival. Music was not luxury, it was bread. And when they left Alpha, the world began to hear what Alpha had forged. Dirty Harry became one of the hidden pillars of reggae music, a man whose horn shaped the sound while others carried the spotlight. He recorded with Peter Tosh, Burning Spear, Jimmy Cliff, Augustus Pablo, Jacob Miller, and virtually every major reggae artist of the era. If roots reggae had a backbone of brass, Dirty Harry was part of the spine. In 1974, his horn rang out on Jacob Miller's Keep on Knocking under Augustus Pablo's Rockers production, music that knocked not just on doors, but on consciousness. In 1975, he was summoned to something greater, Burning Spear's Marcus Garvey album, a work that felt less like entertainment and more like prophecy. There, with the Black Disciples, Dirty Harry helped carve sound into history. His saxophone drifted through dub chambers on King Tubby meets Rockers Uptown, echoing like scripture read in a cave. It stood firm on Peter Tosh's Equal Rights, where justice marched to rhythm. These were not sessions, they were assignments. Yet Dirty Harry never chased attention. He was content to stand slightly behind the curtain, letting the horn speak where his voice did not. His nickname, Dirty Harry, came from his love for Clint Eastwood, the lone figure who stands calm while chaos circles. It became the title of his first hit, and the name fit him perfectly. Like the character, Harry moved quietly, decisively, without excess words. Then came Rockers, the living scripture of reggae cinema. In the film, Dirty Harry did not act, he simply existed as himself. Horsemouth's loyal sidekick. The man who accompanies him on the warehouse raid. The one who calmly steps into the DJ booth at the middle-class nightclub when things need to be handled. In a backyard scene, now immortal, Dirty Harry plays Sada Masagana alongside Bobby Ellis, Herman Marquis, and Tommy McCook. It is not a performance, it is communion. His face later appears on the VHS cover, history quietly acknowledging his place. But even holy stories have fractures. One day, the fire turned against itself. Years of hunger, imbalance, and unspoken frustration finally erupted. Horsemouth, weary from endless drumming, confronted Burning Spear during a live show. Not out of arrogance, but exhaustion. He was tired of carrying rhythm while feeling unheard. Tired of pounding skins while the voice he expected did not rise. Words were exchanged. Pride took over. Then came the act that broke the bond. In anger, Burning Spear tore apart Horsemouth's old boots, boots worn thin by years of poverty and persistence. Boots that carried more than dirt. Boots where Horsemouth kept his few belongings, his entire movable life. To some, it was a small thing. To a poor drummer, it was everything. That single act shattered years. Years of loyalty. Years of shared hunger. Years of fire kept alive with bare hands. In that moment of humiliation, Horsemouth struck Burning Spear, not out of hate, but heartbreak. One blow. No celebration. No triumph. And then, he stopped. He walked away. From the man. From the band. From the fire they once shared. It was Dirty Harry who confronted Horsemouth afterward. Not with judgment, not with applause, but with concern. Harry understood both the wound and the weight. He had always been the quiet peacemaker, the man who stood between egos and tried to keep the music alive. He did not excuse violence, but he understood pain. He tried to hold the center while everything split. But some wounds do not heal. Some brotherhoods end not with war, but with silence. Time moved on. The record spun. Reggae traveled the world. And Dirty Harry kept playing, kept building sound for others to stand on. Then Babylon claimed him. Manhattan. A robbery. A gun. Richard Dirty Harry Hall was shot and killed, far from Kingston yards, far from Alpha's discipline, far from the backyard where Sada e Masagana once floated into evening air. There was no stage. No horn in hand. No farewell note. Just silence. But listen carefully, you cannot murder a foundation. Dirty Harry lives in every horn line that lifts a roots tune. He lives in every dub echo that knows when to fade. He lives in every story of musicians who gave everything and received little. He lives as the man who tried to keep peace when pride threatened to burn it all down. Richard Hall was not just a saxophonist. He was a witness. A bridge. An architect of sound. Babylon silenced the man, but the music still testifies. Rest in power, Dirty Harry. The horn is quiet, but the scripture remains.
Tired fi lick weed in a bush. Tired fi lick pipe in a gully. We want to come out in the open. But the breeze can blow it so far away. To the north, to the south, to the east and to the west.
That's it for this episode. You've been watching Reggae Gist Extra, where we bring you the untold stories behind the music, the legends, and the culture we love. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a positive comment down below. Until next time, stay blessed, stay conscious, and keep the roots alive, Rastafari.
Holy man will I Kingston Rastafari, first lives and rules and reign.